You join the meeting. Faces pop up one by one, smiling, nodding. Someone's dog barks in the background. And then there's that black square. Maybe it's yours. Camera off, mic muted, name floating in a little rectangle like a witness in a courtroom drama. You're there, technically, but not quite visible, not quite exposed. Just enough to be counted, not enough to be seen. Or maybe you're on the other side, staring at a grid of faces and one silent tile, wondering, what's going on behind that blank screen? Lazy? Disengaged? Multitasking? Secretly folding laundry? Sometimes, sure, but more often, there's something deeper happening, a quiet psychology behind that choice. Because keeping your camera off in meetings isn't just about bandwidth, it's about boundaries, identity, energy, control. And once you see the patterns, you start recognizing them everywhere, maybe even in yourself. Let's step inside that black square. First, there's the invisible performer. Picture this. The meeting starts, and you instantly feel the subtle pressure. You're not just listening, you're being watched. Your face becomes a stage. Every blink, every nod, every yawn is public. You start thinking about how you look instead of what's being said. Is your lighting weird? Do you look bored? Is your face doing that awkward half-smile thing again? For some people, turning the camera off is relief. It's the difference between participating and performing. Psychologically, this connects to self-monitoring, how much we track and adjust our behavior based on how others see us. High self-monitors are constantly aware of their image. Video meetings amplify that awareness. You see yourself in the corner of the screen, a live mirror, a tiny surveillance camera pointed at your own expressions. And the brain doesn't love that. It splits your attention. One part listens, the other edits your face in real time. So the camera goes off, not because you don't care, but because you care too much about how you're perceived. Does that sound familiar? Do you think clearly when no one's watching? Then there's the energy guardian. This person might seem quiet, calm, maybe even detached, but internally, they're managing something invisible, social energy. For some people, especially introverted or highly sensitive types, video meetings are more draining than in-person ones. Why? Because you're staring at multiple faces at once. You're hyper-aware of eye contact. You can't look away without seeming disengaged. It's intense. When the camera's on, it's like holding eye contact with 10 people simultaneously. That's a lot of social stimulation. Turning it off creates a small buffer, a layer of psychological distance. It allows them to lean back, breathe, think. They're still listening, still contributing, but they're not flooding their nervous system with visual social cues. This isn't avoidance, it's regulation. If you've ever ended a video call feeling oddly exhausted, even if nothing dramatic happened, you felt this. Your brain worked overtime processing micro-expressions and social signals. So the camera off choice becomes a quiet act of self-preservation. Another profile is the privacy protector. They join the call from their bedroom or a kitchen with unwashed dishes just out of frame, or a space that doesn't feel presentation ready. But it's not just about mess, it's about the boundary between public and private.
For some people, home is sacred territory. It's where the professional mask comes off. When meetings entered living rooms, that boundary blurred. And not everyone adjusted comfortably. There's a subtle vulnerability in letting coworkers peek into your personal environment, your decor, your lighting, your socioeconomic signals. Camera off restores a sense of control. It says, you can hear my ideas, but you don't get my background. Psychologically, this ties into autonomy, the need to feel in charge of what parts of yourself are visible. When that autonomy feels threatened, even slightly, resistance shows up in small ways. A black screen becomes a boundary line. Now, here's an interesting one. The cognitive processor. This person actually thinks better when unseen. You might notice they speak less when the camera's on, more when it's off. Why? Because visual presence increases social pressure, and pressure narrows thinking. When faces are watching, some brains switch into impression management mode. They aim for polished answers, quick responses, safe opinions. But when the camera is off, something relaxes. They can stare at the ceiling, close their eyes, pace around the room, think slowly. And slow thinking is often deeper thinking. For reflective personalities, visibility interrupts cognition. Invisibility supports it. So if you've ever turned your camera off and suddenly found your words flowing more easily, it might not be disengagement. It might be your mind finally having space. But here's the twist. Sometimes the camera off habit isn't about anxiety or energy at all. Sometimes it's about subtle rebellion. The quiet resistor. This person doesn't love being told, "Camera's on, everyone." It feels mandatory, slightly controlling, a small erosion of choice. So they comply halfway. They join, they listen, but they don't switch on the lens. It's not dramatic defiance, it's quiet autonomy. In psychology, when people feel their freedom is limited, they experience reactance, a motivational push to reclaim that freedom. Even tiny restrictions can trigger it. So the blank screen becomes symbolic, a reminder, you don't get all of me just because you scheduled a meeting. And if you've ever felt a weird surge of resistance when someone insists on camera-on culture, you might recognize that spark. Of course, none of these types are fixed identities. You might shift between them. One day you're the energy guardian, another day you're the cognitive processor. Sometimes you're just tired, or having a bad hair day, or dealing with bandwidth issues that are actually real. But the larger pattern is this. Keeping your camera off is rarely random. It's usually an adaptation, a response to being seen. Because being seen isn't neutral, it's powerful. It changes how we think, speak, and regulate ourselves. Video meetings created a new kind of visibility, constant, close-up, and prolonged. And not everyone experiences that as comfortable. So next time you notice the black square, yours or someone else's, maybe pause before labeling it. Instead of "they're disengaged," maybe it's "they're managing something." Managing anxiety, energy, privacy, focus, autonomy. And if you're the one behind that dark screen, ask yourself gently, what is it doing for me? Is it helping me think, protecting my space, calming my nerves? Or has it become a habit that no longer serves me? There's no moral here, no rule about cameras on or off, just awareness. Because once you understand the psychology, you can choose consciously instead of automatically. So which one feels closest to you? The invisible performer? The energy guardian? The privacy protector? The cognitive processor? The quiet resistor? Maybe a blend. I'm curious, when you turn your camera off, what's really happening in that moment? Let me know how this lands for you. And if you enjoy exploring these quiet, almost invisible patterns of behavior, stick around. There's a lot more hiding in plain sight.